Canadian Music Week 2011, High Valley won Country Song of the Year from their self-titled new album. The Canadian trio has opened shows for, are you ready for this? Brad Paisley, Keith Urban, Leanne Rimes, and Reba McEntire. I think it's time we get acquainted with these stellar brothers from Lacrete, Alberta. Brad, Brian, and Curtis Rempel, welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's about time.
It's good to be back, yeah.
I'm surprised we have time with you. With
well, we're almost surprised we have time. It's been a really busy season of our lives, but it's awesome to be sitting on a comfortable couch and to be here.
Wonderful. Now, where's Lacrete?
Lacrete's about 11 hours north of Calgary and 8 hours north of Edmonton. It's pretty much north of anything that you would have heard of.
Yeah, very true.
Well, we're just glad you're there. Born there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alberta, but very interesting background. Mexican Mennonites.
Yeah, our mom and dad were both born down in Timac, Mexico. It was a old colony, Mennonite colony, where they rode horse and buggy and had no electricity, and definitely a pretty cool background. Our grandpa bought a grain truck that he transported his entire family from Mexico all the way up to the Leamington, Aylmer, Ontario area. So that's how we got to where we're at today.
Now, am I right that by buying that vehicle, Grandpa became excommunicated?
Yeah, I mean, that's you're not supposed to have vehicles in a colony, so one thing led to another, and it definitely wasn't what people in the colony wanted to see, that's for sure.
Now, you brothers grew up singing in church, harmonizing, and a lot of instruments.
Not too many instruments in church, but just a piano, but we sure had a lot at home, yeah.
Did you ever imagine, even aspire to be?
I didn't really imagine, but I think Brad was always a dreamer, and he had visions of this, and pulled his little brothers on board, and here we are.
Brian was 9 when I was 12, and that's when the band started 14 years ago. And I think when I was about, I don't know how old, but really young, my parents bought me a little tape recorder, and I did the news, weather, sports, advertisements.
Is that allowed? Of course, you're in Alberta by now.
Yeah.
Oh, you're okay. You're okay.
Yeah, it was all good. So we did this little fake radio show, and every time I'd intro the band was always called High Valley. So when we finally started performing, that's what we called ourselves, and it stuck.
Wait a minute. Whose band was called High Valley?
This fictitious band on my little fictitious radio station that nobody ever heard. But there were some great ads, and the weather was always pretty good.
It's fine. Yeah. You know, I love that name.
Thank you.
High Valley. And before I inject anything, I want to know why you picked it.
Honestly, I have no clue. I was so young, I just remember saying that out loud. And the first show we ever did 14 years ago, we played this one song, and the MC says, "So what are you boys called?" And we all look at each other kind of nervously, and we hadn't thought of, having a name. We were just guys from Lacrete that wanted to sing a song. And one of the guitar players' moms yells out High Valley from the crowd, and then we're like, sure, we've got a name.
It's so optimistic. You know, the valleys of life are unavoidable. We think of them as being so low and so deep and hard to find a way out.
Yeah, well, it's country music after all, so it's already depressing enough, so we figured we'd make it as optimistic as we can.
You stop that. Because country songs tell stories, and I like to think there's usually redemption in them.
Ours sure do. That's the goal of our band in the first place. We're always trying to offer redemption through our songs and truth and speak life into things. And we've really been able to either write songs that do that or find songs from other writers that are pitching us music. And we spend a lot of time in detail searching for the right songs. And we really feel like we found 11 really great songs that say what it is that we're trying to say on this new record.
Yeah, congratulations on your vision, on your success. Family friendly, how hard is that to find anymore?
Yeah, it's
with songs that talk about real life.
Yeah. It's, I mean, everybody does their own thing, and I mean, people are great at different gifts, but for us, that was really, obviously we're brothers, and when we set out to do this, at first we just kind of went through the motions and did whatever we grew up doing and didn't really think much about it, but as we grew up and had to make some actual decisions in our lives, we still, we're so thankful for our background because it made us stay true to who we are. And when we had to decide which kind of music we wanted to do, it was really clear for us that we wanted music that would actually be able to change people's lives instead of just kind of, be some background noise. So it's been really exciting to see on Facebook and our website people emailing in saying that song about your dad made me cry and it made me realize how much he loves me and all that kind of stuff. Just hearing things like that makes it worth it every day.
Now, we don't want to let the eldest do all the talking here. Brian,
That's fine. Of course not.
man in the middle. Am I guessing right? I'm not going to guess.
Yeah, Brian's in the middle.
Well, I got that. I finally got that part. But which two are married?
Us, or me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's a baby in the wings here.
Yes.
Looks pretty new.
My 5-month-old girl.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's nice to be doing something that you can always be confident for your children looking in and following in your footsteps.
Yeah, most definitely. It's been really awesome to be able to have family on the road, and often Brad's family is on the road with us as well. So it's a big family affair. So it's a lot of fun.
I mean, this started with what looks like a whirlwind. Curtis, I'll get you to comment. You recorded in Nashville in 2001 for the first time.
Yeah, the guys were down. Actually, that was before I joined the band. I was 11 years old at that time, but I was down in the studio with them, checking it out, learning about what was going on. And
so you weren't part of the 110 days on the road that followed?
No, that was without Curtis. But
just two of you.
Actually, Mom and Dad were driving us around sometimes, so Curtis would have been part of that. He was probably skateboarding or something while we were setting up the sound
Actually,
equipment.
I remember at one of the jamborees you guys were playing at, I was running around collecting pop cans so I could get free freezies. that was fun. One of my main memories.
There aren't other siblings waiting to join the band, are there?
They're not waiting, no. We've got 3 older sisters, and they can sing a lot better than we can, but they're not in the band. They have large families, and they live up in northern Alberta as well.
Well, you've chosen a path that is very meaningful. Look who you've been singing with. Leanne Rimes, Brad Paisley, Keith Urban. It's fabulous. You're taking the light of your faith into the world's places.
Yeah, I mean, thanks to country radio and television, a lot of people have been exposed to it in the last couple of years. And I mean, it was kind of funny last year because we were nominated for New Artist of the Year at the Country Music Awards for Canada, and it was our 13th year of doing music, so it was kind of hilarious how this is our debut brand new album, and we've been recording a lot of albums over the years. We just want to make sure that nobody ever hears them, so it's really good that this is our debut album and that we can get that music out to the masses. It's been a crazy ride, honestly. Being from Lacrete, we would have never dreamed that we'd get chance to be here or be at any of these interviews and events, and very thankful for sure, very blessed.
Is it okay to ask how old you guys were when you started singing?
Yeah, I was 12.
I was 9, I think, when I learned to play guitar.
And I was running around collecting pop cans. I was 6 when they started, and I joined later on.
We've been doing this we were talking earlier today, over half of our lives.
Yeah.
Well over.
You never leave family. I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
You're on the road, you're doing life together. Is it working with family? New family?
Oh yeah.
Wives?
My son
babies?
is 2 years old, so the hardest part is when he's on the road making sure that he doesn't wreck the drum set, because he literally
Seek and destroy the 2-year-olds.
and he's very, very, very obsessed with drums, so we got to be super careful all the time, but he loves it. At home, he's got a guitar hanging on his wall. He has a piano and a little drum, and that's all he ever wants to do. So I have a feeling this is not the end of the
band will
Rempel
expand.
family. Yeah.
What special boundaries, special rules that make it work when you're 24/7? Whole family?
You mean as far as getting along?
Kinda that.
We have one rule that works pretty good.
What rule is that?
If you're gonna fight off stage and make it right before you get on stage.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's
you
a
don't
good
want to
rule.
do a show if you're not in line.
We don't also want to stab each other with our guitars on stage, so that all
It
has
would
to
be
happen.
pretty entertaining, but I don't know. if that's the right way to go about it.
You've had some wonderful encouragement and influence. Tell us about Paul Brandt, for example.
Yeah, I mean, wow. What can we say about him?
He was your hero.
Yeah, he's been such a, not just a hero, but a mentor and such an awesome example. He's the reason why we got onto the Country Music Awards in the first place. We did this song together with him. He wrote our second single with us called On the Combine and appeared in the music video, and really just has helped us do events with the Children's Hospital in Calgary, and just taken us on the road with him. So many awesome things. We actually just sang on his new gospel album that's coming out within the next year, and every time we think he's done, he calls us with another awesome opportunity for us. So
Isn't that nice?
so far we've never said no to Paul, because it's always a great idea.
He's just one of Canada's best, and obviously championing you guys.
Yeah,
Double the blessing.
for sure.
What's your mission with your music?
What is our mission?
Yeah, what do you, I mean, you're already on the path of success, fame, notoriety. It's exciting. But you are people of faith.
Yeah.
How do you articulate what you're about?
I think yesterday, or a lot of times, we have these experiences where, for example, we played an award show one night, and then we were in a tiny little 200-seat church the following night. And we have people mention, like, isn't that such a contrast to do this and then do that? And I can't believe you'd come to this little church. And I said, that's exactly what it is that we want to do. The fact that we could show up in this little church and do a concert and kind of pull the sound down just to make sure everything was sitting good. That's what's so awesome, is because not only do we remember where we came from, like people always say, we still are there. Brian and Curtis still both live in Lacrete. We're still hanging out with the same people. And so for us to be able to achieve success, yeah, that's ridiculously exciting. But if we can still go back and do a lot of those same gospel jamborees and churches that we used to do, or the country festivals or town fairs, it's really about staying true to what we've believed our whole lives, and we've always wanted to bring our message of faith and hope to people, and the way we do it is with country music. And
Who writes the songs?
a lot of different people do, but I'm the only writer out of the three of us.
Three of you guys.
We don't have enough skills over here on this side
Oh,
of the
you
couch.
stop down there. I love this song. You know, you've already mentioned On the Combine. I mean, that's a Canadian picture for me.
Yeah.
Tell us about the song that you're going to sing.
Well, Paul Brandt and myself wrote it together, and it was pretty amazing because they got 205 combines together at one time for Harvest for Kids, and they broke the world record, most combines harvesting at the same time. In 5 minutes, they took care of so much land. It was unbelievable. And anyway, the money they raised sent hundreds and thousands of kids in India to Bible camp, and we were able to fly down to India after shooting the music video and meet these children that got to go to camp because of a song about a combine. So I don't think Paul or myself ever, or any of us three, ever dreamt that On the Combine would send kids in India to camp. So we went and met a bunch of these Hindu children and just played in their villages, rode some of their motorbikes, and it was not their motorbikes, but we showed up with motorbikes and made quite a scene. And
Did you get some video of that?
we got great video, and there's all kinds of video on highvalleymusic.com and on Facebook, and of course the actual music video for On the Combine as well features the whole world record harvest. And it's pretty surprising and exciting.
Well, I cannot wait to hear it. And Brad, Brian, and Curtis Rempel, our cheer and our prayers go with you. And
Thank you.
Can't
Thank
wait
you very much.
to hear where you've been next time we catch up with you.
Yeah, for sure.